The biggest demonstrations in years have been shaking Jordan since Wednesday. Tax rises and austerity measures have brought thousands of protesters to the streets across the country. They say the new tax bill will further worsen living standards. Many Jordanians feel financially squeezed by a government they perceive as corrupt. The planned tax rise came after a series of price increases on staples such as bread and fuel. Jordan's capital is one of the most expensive in the Arab world.
The economy has been slowing down over the last few years because of the regional situation. Unemployment is high in Jordan. Inflation is high. So people feel like these added demands on them, the government expects them to pay taxes, when in fact people are not feeling the benefits of any economic development.
The controversial bill is part of a series of economic reforms since Amman received a loan from the International Monetary Fund, the IMF, in 2016. The loan aims at lowering public debt through austerity measures, cutting subsidies, and increasing the sales tax. The country's public debt is about $35 billion, which means about 90% of its gross domestic product. Jordan's government is under pressure from the IMF to carry out the economic reforms and austerity measures.
The IMF is working with the Jordanian government to find radical solutions for the problems with the budget that has plagued the Jordanian government for years. They are trying to restructure the economy so that it becomes based on collecting taxes instead of providing assistance and help to a population that is already suffering from financial problems.
In the capital Amman, protesters marched on Sunday toward the office of the Prime Minister while demanding his resignation. Shortly after, King Abdullah II asked Prime Minister Hani Molki to report to the royal palace. That raised speculations that Molki might be sacked. While crises hit the small country in the Middle East, every now and then the king frequently reshuffles or disbands governments as a way of diffusing public anger and diverting it away from himself.
The economic reality has really called into question whether this king is able to lead Jordan out of its economic woes. So we hear now in the streets more calls for either regime change or drastic reform to this regime.
The king's sleight of hand has worked so far, but the sea of people in the kingdom's streets might know who is really running the show. If the economic plight persists, the protests will not target the premiership alone. That's what history has to say.